Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, I'm showing you how to swap a freewheel out on your bike. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're showing you how to swap out a freewheel on your bike. And behind me, we got my daughter's new to her mountain bike here. This is a Specialized Hot Rock 20 right here. So what we're swapping out is the freewheel. So if you don't know if you have a freewheel or a cassette or what the difference is, I've done a video in the past and I'll link to it up in the corner. That way you can check it out, see what you have a cassette or a freewheel on your bike. In the case of this bike, it is a freewheel. So essentially it is one whole unit that screws onto the hub. So that's what we're replacing today. Right now on here we have a 6-speed. We're going to go up to a 7-speed. For many reasons here. Mostly because we need a little bit more range on here for her to effectively mountain bike, especially the places where we go. I'd like her to have essentially this mega range gear, this 34 tooth mega range gear on here. The rest of this freewheel is about the same as what's on there. So she's not really going to lose anything. She's going to gain this giant gear on here to help her climb whatever she needs to climb. So, biggest reason we're swapping right there. So, we're going to pretty much swap out this little guy on here for this guy here, this Shimano freewheel here. So the one we're installing today, this is the 7-speed Shimano freewheel. This is the MFTZ 500-7. Pretty much where you can search up the Mega Range 7-speed freewheel is what it's going to be. I'm also going to link in the description. So let's go ahead and let's get to this. First thing we got to do, we got to loosen up our brake here, drop our derailleur into the smallest gear, and then remove the wheel. So let's move on over, let's get working to it. Alright, so like I said, first thing we gotta do is pop our brake cable out of this one. So we just push those together and pull that noodle right out of there. Nice and easy, apart from each other. And then we need to get our chain into the smallest gear. That's just gonna aid in getting the wheel off and then putting the wheel back on from there. So we'll go ahead up to our shifter and we'll just spin that guy down to our smallest gear, just like so. After that, take the wheel right off. In this case, these are 15mm nuts on the end. Pull our wheel right off, and we're set to take off our freewheel. Alright, so with the freewheel, so what you're going to need to know is you need to get a tool that actually goes into here. So in the case of ours here, you can kind of see inside of there, you can see the little teeth that go around the outside of the inside. So in our case, this is going to be the Park Tool FR 1.3 is going to be what you need. Essentially that has the matching splines. That essentially allows it to go in there and rotate and to loosen the freewheel. So this is the most common one I've seen. I believe this is for like Sunray, Sox, and Shimano, I think is the one that uses this one. The best resource you can use to figure out what you need is find the brand that's written on here. In this case, it's written on this middle ring here, right there. So you can find that brand on there. Go on to Park Tool's website, and there's a list pretty much what brands use what freewheel tools. So that's going to be your best way to find that. I found the FR 1.3 is the most common, at least for what I run into. So that's the one I use here. You are going to need that tool. Like I said, there are different ones out there. So I mean, here's like a BMX freewheel tool. There's another BMX freewheel tool. There's another freewheel tool. So there are tons of different freewheel tools out there. So you just need to make sure you get the right one so it actually fits in there and you can loosen it that way. So once you figure out what tool you need, you're going to be on your way to removing your freewheel. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to remove your freewheel. So kind of a downfall, yet a good thing with the freewheel is that as you pedal, it tightens the freewheel up. As you pedal, it's actually turning that in the tightening direction. So depending on how heavy you are, how much power you're putting out, how long it's been on the bike, that thing can be on there ridiculously tight. Also matters if it was ever greased, threads were ever greased or anything like that. So the thing can be on there ridiculously tight. So I'm going to show you the first way first, which is going to be using just a big adjustable wrench, trying to remove it that way. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you won't. Hopefully I got lucky because this kid's bike. Shouldn't be too difficult. If that doesn't work, even if it works, I'll show you the other way, which is going to be using a bench vise to remove it and get it off that way if it is really stuck on there. So let me go get a big adjustable wrench. We'll try and pop this guy off. Alright, so we got our adjustable wrench here. It's a big like 12-inch wrench here. We got our wheel nut onto the end there to hold that tool in place so it doesn't slip off, so we don't have to worry about grabbing onto it with our hands or anything like that. And we're going to adjust this to the right size, just like that. And then it's as simple as loosening this guy up. So trying to hold the wheel and pulling it loose. So like I said, in this case, kid's bike, I'm pretty sure they just put it on. That came off pretty freaking easy versus some of them out there. So once that's off, you can just unscrew this the rest of the way. And they put grease in here too, so that helps. They did replace this at the place we bought her bike, so that kind of makes a difference. There we go. All right, there's our Freewheel all removed. Pretty easy with this one. That was ridiculously easy. I don't think I've had one that easy in a long time. So I'm gonna put this back on. I'll show you the other way that you could remove this if it doesn't want to come off with an adjustable wrench. All right, so the way that most you're probably gonna have to take it off. I'll tell you, the wrench method, probably not gonna work for you. I am impressed that it actually worked for this. But again, kid's bike, I believe this is relatively newly put on. So it's kind of it's an anomaly here. So the easiest way you're gonna be able to do this, especially if it's on there tight, is to get a bench vise. So if you have a bench vise, you can clamp that tool in there onto the flat. So you can see I have the tool clamped into our bench vise, and it is nice and tight in there. Once that is in there, you're gonna grab your wheel and you're just going to set that down on there and let those teeth engage in the Freewheel, like so. Once those teeth are engaged, as you rotate this, using this as a big lever, you're going to be able to rotate this guy to the left, just like you would if you were loosening something, and you're going to be able just to turn, and off it goes. Just like so, and you can spin that guy all the way off those threads, and there you go. Freewheel completely removed. Now, obviously, this one's an easier one. I've seen it where there's a couple dudes on here yanking on that wheel to try and get that Freewheel off. This is by far the easier way to do it, in the way that I've done it majority of my life, because again, pretty rare it comes off with a wrench, but that should get your Freewheel all removed. In this case, I'm actually going to leave this tool in here because we're going to use this tool to install it right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and clean this all up, get some of this grease off, kind of fresh grease on there, put our new Freewheel on here, and then we'll tighten it up the exact same way we just took it off. All right, so we got this guy all cleaned up on the threads. We have our new Freewheel right in here. You can see the difference. We're going from a 6 to a 7 speed, and then we also are adding that giant gear on there. Realistically, everything else, yeah, they're the same size. So everything else the same size. We got that back into our vise here with that tool. What we're gonna do, we're gonna set this down into our Freewheel, and we're gonna lightly spin this. We don't want to push much pressure on here because those threads should engage by themselves. You don't want to cross thread those guys. That will not be a good day. And as you can see, it slows down as it gets tighter. And we're going to yeet on this guy. And we're moving the whole bench vise here. I thought that was tight, but apparently not. And we're going to yeet this guy on here. We're going to tighten this guy more than it was before. Essentially till, yeah, I can't move. The vise is moving before it turns. All right. So that should be pretty good. Nice and installed there. So there's our new Freewheel installed, ready to go back on the bike. So there you go, new Freewheel installed on your bike. From there, you essentially just need to install it back into the frame. Super simple, get everything going again. Now, I will say, in my case, we upgraded from a 6 to a 7 speed with a very large cassette on here, with this large 34 tooth gear on here. So, in general, you're not gonna be able just to do what I did here and throw it on your bike and expect it to work. In our case, we're doing a lot of supporting upgrades to this as well. We're gonna be changing the chain, we're changing the derailleur, we're changing the shifter. We're upgrading a lot of this bike to make it capable of handling this new Freewheel we put on here. But if you're essentially swapping same to same, so 6 speed to 6 speed, 7 speed to 7 speed, whatever that may be, in general, you're gonna be able to get away with it, unless you're doing a giant jump with the gear like this one here. Worst case, you're gonna need to lengthen your chain or get a new chain, so you're able to utilize this huge gear on here. But in this case, like I said, we're doing a bunch of modifications to this bike along with this to make everything work. So don't expect this to work. If you want to do exactly what we did, where you're upgrading from a 6 to a 7, you can hang around. We're gonna do videos on everything we're doing to this bike to upgrade it up to pretty much the point where it's a solid mountain bike for my daughter to get ripping on. As you can tell, it's got some beefy tires on there already. We now got the gearing to go with it. It's gonna be a sweet bike. So hopefully you guys learned something today, or at least found it somewhat entertaining. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.